In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 unique features inside DaVinci Resolve that can completely transform your iPhone footage. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the depth map effect in DaVinci Resolve. This tool lets you create artificial depth of field, even if you're working with footage from an iPhone. As you probably know, iPhones have a fixed aperture and a pretty small sensor. That means we don't get that natural blurry background you'd see on a big camera. But with the depth map effect, we can fake it in a really convincing way. You can blur the background, keep your subject sharp, and make your footage feel more cinematic, without any extra gear. To get started, add a new node and apply the depth map effect. DaVinci Resolve will automatically generate a black and white matte showing the depth in your shot. The white areas are what's closest to the camera, and the black areas are further away. Now, since we want to blur the background, not the subject, we'll need to invert the map. That way, the background becomes white and the subject becomes black. You can fine-tune the effect by adjusting the near and far limit sliders to better isolate the background. I also recommend turning on the post-processing option. This helps smooth out the edges and gives you a more accurate mask. Next, let's turn off the depth map preview so we can see the actual image again. Then, add one more node. To make sure the depth map is passed along, we need to connect its alpha output, that's the little blue square, to the alpha input on the new node. This tells Resolve which parts of the image to affect. Now go to the blur section and simply increase the blur slider. You'll start to see the background soften, creating that nice shallow depth of field look, just like a camera with a fast lens. This already looks pretty cool, but let's take it a step further. Instead of the regular blur, drop the lens blur effect onto the new node. In the Shape Type tab, switch it to Creative, and for the aperture shape, choose Eye. Now go to the Controls tab and rotate the shape by 90 degrees. This helps mimic the unique blur style you'd see with an anamorphic lens. From here, just adjust the blur size and other settings until it looks right to you. Feel free to play around with different shapes and sliders. This is where you can really customize the look. Next up is one of my favorite effects in Resolve: lens reflections. This tool is perfect for clips that feel a bit flat or boring. It lets you add subtle textures and lighting artifacts using the highlights in your footage. It's designed to simulate the light reflections that happen inside real camera lenses when you're filming bright lights or highlights. The result adds realism and a cinematic touch to your shot. I recommend starting with one of the built-in presets. My go-to options are Summer and Prism. Then just tweak the sliders until it fits the mood of your clip. Don't be afraid to experiment. This effect is all about subtlety. Now let's talk about the Surface Tracker, a powerful tool that lets you attach images or textures to surfaces in your video, even if they're moving. In this example, I'm using it to add my own image to an empty billboard on the street. The cool part is, once it's tracked, the image sticks to the billboard and moves naturally with the camera, just like it was really there. To get started, add the Surface Tracker effect to an empty node. In the preview window, place points to cover the surface you want to track. In this case, the billboard. Once you've marked the area, click on the Mesh tab and increase the point limit for better accuracy. Next, go to the Track tab and click the double arrow to track the motion. This may take a moment, depending on the length of your clip. Once the tracking is finished, switch to the Result tab. Now it's time to bring in your image. Make sure your image is in the media pool, then drag it into the node area. You'll see a new node appear. To connect it, drag from the output of your image node to the green input of the Surface Tracker node. If you're using a logo or graphic with transparency, like a PNG file, make sure to also connect the alpha output to the alpha input on the Surface Tracker node. Now let's go back to our Surface Tracker node and fine-tune the look of the image. Under the Operation tab, you can soften the edges and adjust the size to better match the surface. You can expand or shrink it until it fits just right. For positioning, I personally like to use the sliders. They give you precise control. But if you prefer, you can also use the interactive canvas to click and drag the image directly in the viewer. To help your image blend in more naturally, try playing with the composite modes and the opacity slider. This can help match the lighting and texture of the original surface, making it feel like it was always part of the shot. Now let's take a look at the brand new Magic Mask 2. This feature is part of DaVinci Resolve 20, but if you're using an older version, the original Magic Mask still works just fine. Magic Mask 2 uses AI to make complex masking much easier. It can automatically detect and isolate people or objects in your footage. No need to manually draw masks frame by frame. You can use it to highlight your subject, apply color grading only to the background, or even remove the background completely. In this example, we'll use it to separate our subject from the background. This gives us more control over how each part of the image looks. If you're still getting comfortable with DaVinci Resolve's color tools and want a deeper dive, check out my hour-long tutorial on color grading secrets. It'll walk you through the key tools step by step. Now, back to our Magic Mask. Once the subject is tracked, we can invert the mask to select the background instead. From here, head over to the Color Wheels section. I'm using the Gamma wheel to push some cooler tones into the background. This helps create contrast and brings more focus to the subject. You can also lower the brightness just a bit, and even add a small amount of blur to the background. These subtle changes make your subject stand out more without overdoing it. For my last trick, I'll use my lovely and warm face. And the tool I'm talking about is Face Refinement. It's an AI-powered feature designed to enhance facial features and apply digital makeup during post-production. DaVinci Resolve automatically detects the face in your footage, so you don't need to mask or track anything by hand. It can smooth skin, brighten eyes, sharpen details, and help make the face stand out a bit more. Especially useful for interviews or talking head videos. And that's 5 creative ways to level up your iPhone footage in DaVinci Resolve. Keep experimenting. And if you want to learn more tricks while editing your videos, check out this next video. See you in the next one.